Hello everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. For those of you that are just tuning in on the replay, give me a hello in the comments. Let me know that you are watching and that you have tuned in. And for those of you that are starting to hop on live, hello, welcome, good morning. It is lovely to have you with me today. And today I have the absolute pleasure of speaking to Isabelle. Isabelle is a book, business, and Moola Doula. She supports female entrepreneurs emotionally, editorially, and practically as they birth their books, blissful businesses, and new money stories. She is French, has been living in the UK since 1995, and combines her skills as an editor, proofreader, hypnotherapist, EFT, EIMT, NLP, and Reiki practitioner. That is a lot of letters, and business money coach to provide unique therapy and coaching for her clients. Isabelle, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. Hello. Hi, everyone.
So Isabelle has you have two sides to your bow, really, don't you? You have the kind of book side to your bow and the money archetype side to your bow.
Yes, I do.
Amazing. So we're going to cover off both today because I think both are great, interesting topics that we want to share with people. So as hopefully lots of our listeners and watchers know, I wrote my first book, which was published end of November on Kindle last year, November 2021. I was just telling Isabelle, I have the paperback to finish proofreading as well, which is exciting. And I'm planning on writing a second book this year as well. So I am a big fan of books. I also read a huge amount of business books. But Isabelle, why don't you tell us, why should we be considering a book? Or should we even be considering a book if we are running a business?
If you're running a business, you should definitely consider writing a book and publishing it, and publishing it yourself even. Self-publishing is definitely hot at the moment and has been for quite a few years. And in fact, has been, around for many decades, but it's really, taken off recently. And for good reason. We are here to choose ourselves. We choose ourselves with our businesses, and so we can choose ourselves with our books as well, and not be ashamed of being self-published, and not being ashamed of choosing ourselves, because you could wait around for many years for a publisher to find you, and then another 2 years for them to actually publish you, because it takes a long time to be published with a traditional publisher.
Yeah, I have to say my book is completely self-published, and it is actually really easy. The hardest part is by far is actually the hardest part isn't actually writing the book, I found. I think the hardest part was actually getting out my own way and deciding to start writing the book. The book that I'd had like various mind maps written about before, and scribbles on note papers, and like half kind of thoughts, but actually going, you know what, I'm going to set a date, I'm going to write this book, and this book is going to be birthed, as you say.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. You have to decide. You really have to decide, and then stick with it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean it has to be every day, but if it has to be consistent. Otherwise you lose the thread, and then you lose the motivation, and then
yeah, absolutely. For me, I actually chose a publish date before I'd even written the first chapter, so that I gave myself a deadline. Is that a good way to do it for people, or is that a dangerous way to do it?
No, it's a very good way to do it. You keep yourself accountable, and then you've promised something to people, and they're waiting for it. So you have to write.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. So let's dig. I want to dig more into the archetype side of things. But I think we can say to our listeners and watchers that writing a book is a very good idea.
It elevates your business.
Yeah,
it elevates your business. It gives credibility to what you do. It shows that you're an expert. However small of an expert you are, you don't have to be the guru of all things, or even within your speciality, but it shows that you're serious. You've taken time to write your book and help people with what you do, and help them further with your book.
Yeah, absolutely. And it helps people find you who wouldn't have found you before as well, because they search on Amazon. We had somebody this week, our first person that had actually said, "Oh, I bought your book, and basically that's why I'm on a call with you." And I was so excited
Yes,
that had happened. But that is helping reach a new audience as well that you wouldn't necessarily reach normally, that have come across your book. They read it, they like you, and they inquire about your services too.
Yeah, it can be the first step on their journey with you.
Absolutely. And so, yeah, I highly recommend the process to anyone who is listening, because it was much easier to actually do the publishing than I thought it would be. But of course, I'm sure if you have the hand holding of someone like Isabelle to do that with you, then I probably made a lot of mistakes along the way, let's face it, because I just did it all myself. And so there's probably some errors there, quite frankly.
I haven't started it yet, but how would you
You'll have to send me, you'll be like, you've forgotten this and this and this. There's bound to be, because these things are always enhanced by,
and nothing is ever perfect
anyway. Exactly.
Yeah, nothing's ever perfect.
So Isabelle, tell me, how do you mesh your book doula, book birthing work with the money archetypes work that you do?
So actually, the Sacred Money Archetypes quiz that you can take is a personality test. So you can find out how you do money, but the way you do money is the way you do everything, really.
Yeah.
And so I incorporate it into all my work, whether you write, whether you're here for just therapy, whether we look into your business, and of course you look at money, but I use it for everything and for all my clients. So I incorporate it because it is a personality test, because it tells me who they are, and therefore I can help them better that way.
I love it. And so in terms of understanding how you should approach writing your book, this is a good step to doing that.
Yes. It helps you understand how you function, and therefore it helps you understand how you write. And for example, if you're an alchemist, we all have 8 archetypes within us, but the top 3 are the ones that really rule our lives. So if your top 1 or one of the top 3 is the alchemist, you are full of ideas. They just don't stop coming. And so the difficulty you might have when you come to write your book is that you have too many ideas and you don't know which one to pick. So it helps you understand why you are how you are and what you can do about it. How can you focus more on just one idea, and which archetype could help you with that? Well, the ruler could help you with that, because the ruler, or the romantic is really good at discerning what's really important. They cut to the chase and then get to what's important. The ruler helps you execute the idea. So you can call upon the archetypes, or any of the archetypes, even if they're your lower ones, and that's something that I teach. Or if you're already a natural ruler, then I know you're going to write.
So why don't you tell our listeners and watchers why don't you run through the different money archetypes, and people might be able to spot themselves in that. I know I haven't shared with you yet what my money archetype is, but I do know what my money archetype is. I do. I did the money archetype test some time ago. So shall I reveal it now what mine is?
Now, so I can.
Okay. So my money archetype is the Maverick. So for those that are listening, I'm sure Isabelle will explain exactly what that means and whether that's a good thing.
Well, do you know what the other 2 are?
Oh, I think I might have it somewhere. I will have to
dig that.
Oh, I think I do have it somewhere, but I don't remember where. I'll need to look it up and let you know.
You're bound to have Accumulator somewhere. If it's not number 1, it's number 2.
Okay.
Because all accountants and everybody who's into numbers are accumulators.
Fair enough.
And then the third one, maybe ruler. I don't know.
Let's see. What have I got? Oh yeah, here we go. So my top 3 are Maverick 32, romantic 29, and then tied with 28 each is ruler and celebrity.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
And where is your accumulator then?
I don't know. I don't know. That's the only bit I know.
Oh, right. Okay. Interesting. I got that wrong then. You had to be accumulators somewhere in the top
Maybe
two.
it's maybe it comes after the ties that are in number 3.
Maybe. So let's start. I'll do it in alphabetical order because it's easier for me to not get you off. I've got my cards here. So this is the accumulator.
Lovely.
Is it the right way around? I don't know.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah,
Okay.
I can see it.
So the accumulator is the one that is good with money, the one that loves money, the one that loves saving, the one that's really good at planning and saving for the future, saving for just in case. Maybe they have lots of little pots of money already, even if they're not familiar with profit first, like I was. Since the age of 8, I already had I had a budget and I had my own little pots. And also they love details. So they love spreadsheets, but also they like details. Like I'm an editor and proofreader, and I love proofreading. I love finding mistakes. I love detail. Whereas some people are much more bigger picture. I think the romantic would probably be that. So this is we all have also a sacred money contract, and the accumulator's contract is to respect the power of money by investing to create freedom. So our challenge, even though we're really good with money, we all have a challenge. Whatever archetype you are, you have a challenge, and our challenge is to actually invest. We save, and we don't spend money on ourselves. We don't spend money on our business, which is really difficult. We need the help of another archetype to push ourselves to spend. And I'm an accumulator at 37, so I know that challenge very well. Thankfully, I've got the ruler to help a little bit. The second archetype is the Alchemist. And the Alchemist's contract is to transform ideas into financial success. So lots of ideas, a bit of an idealist, but in a really good way, has a cause and is willing to fight for it, really, to the death. Believes that there is an unfair balance of wealth in the world, and is really affected by that, and just wishes that money didn't exist and we could all be equal and all the same. And so the challenge for the alchemists is to use their ideas in order to create wealth for themselves and abundance for themselves, and be a bit more focused on money, I suppose. On it's okay to earn money, even as a spiritual person, even as an idealist. We need money to change the world. So use your ideas, have more money, and use that money for the goodness that you want to create in the world. The celebrity is the next one. And celebrity, the money contract is to accumulate wealth while being admired and valued in the world. So does that resonate? You as a celebrity with your...
Yeah, I think it probably does, to be honest.
Yeah. You need to be... you love being the center of attention, and you need to use that. You can use that to do good in the world. Like the more shiny and bright you are, the more you step into your own personality as that person, the more wealth you can create and the more good you can do in the world. So the challenge for celebrities is that they don't feel so good shining so brightly in the world, because we shouldn't, especially as women. So that is the little challenge. You love spending, so the other challenge is not to overspend. And you love beautiful things, and love comfort as well, but beautiful things, being surrounded by beauty, that's really important. The next one is the connector. Is your inner relationship creator. You love connecting with people, but you also love connecting ideas between each other or concepts. You're not that bothered about money, a bit like the alchemist. Like if money could just disappear, it would be great. Don't like the details, don't like looking at spreadsheets and your balance and stuff. But your contract is to empower financial independence through the value of relationships. You're so good at connecting with people, so use that to create wealth and abundance in your own life and for the rest of the world as well. Excuse me. The Maverick. Here we go, Annette.
Yeah, that's me, apparently.
Yeah. It's your inner rebel with a cause, and you illuminate that risk is essential. This is what you do. I don't know you very well, but I've done the way I knew of you was with a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad for your course.
Yes.
I did your course, and you have to have courage to do this. You have, you have to be a bit rebellious, a bit like, well, I'm not going to do it this way. I'm going to do it that way.
Yeah.
And you love taking risks financially, but also in all areas of your life. So you're taking a risk with your book, maybe like showing your face. But the celebrity is like, yeah, I don't mind showing my face. That's fine. So you use these two in conjunction to really like keep going.
Yeah.
And the challenge, your contract is to balance extreme risk with financial security. So it's all well and good spending lots of money and like taking risks financially, but also you need to keep some money for yourself and the rest of the world if you want, if that's something you want as well. But you're really good at structuring deals and handling financial complexity, which is why you do what you do.
Yeah, I like that bit.
Yes, exactly. So accountants are at least Maverick or Accumulator, if nothing else. The nurturer. This is the nurturer. Your contract. So your contract is to care for others by empowering yourself. You're so lovely. You've got such a kind heart as a nurturer. You love giving. You love giving your time. You love giving some of your soul and yourself, and you also love giving your money. Unfortunately, so you're really good with it. You're so kind. You give it to people, give it away, and then you don't have enough for yourself. So your challenge is to use to care for others, of course, still, because that's in your nature. You can't change that. But also to empower yourself in the process. So use your generosity for yourself as well as for others.
Yeah.
The romantic. So you got some romantic.
I do, yeah.
So you must have this struggle sometimes between like, I don't want to do anything today. I just want to look after myself, spa, and the Maverick going, yeah, let's do it. And the ruler as well, let's do it.
I do have that struggle. That is an absolutely real struggle that I have. And typically, most of the time when that occurs, I kind of bully myself into doing stuff.
The ruler is helping you.
Yeah.
You can't. Also, again, it's not, well perceived in our current society to take time to yourself and rest and go to the spa and go for a walk in nature when you've got so much work to do. So the ruler will always like help you, as will the Maverick. But it is 32, 29, 28, they're very close. So it's like, what shall I do? Take a risk or not spend or not. Your sacred money contract as a romantic is to create financial security while living life to its fullest. So think about how you don't actually need to spend money to feel good. You can also just use the candles you already have. Have a home spa, create your own ambience with candles and essential oils, and do your own manicure and all that. You don't have to spend a lot of money to have the comfort that you crave, that you need to feel good. Your gift is to believe that there will always be more. You're such an optimist, like the connector as well. There will always be more. It'll be fine. I'll be fine. And being generous to others as well. You're generous to yourself, but you're also generous to others. You love buying gifts, if that's one of your 5 love languages, or your love language. And enjoying the things that money can buy, maybe even. I don't know. And finally, the ruler. That's my third one. And is yours too? Yeah, probably.
It is, yeah.
Ruler or celebrity. Well, we'd have to ask a question. Actually, let's ask the question.
Okay.
There is a question to be asked if there is a tie in your top 3 archetype. And that is, we all want financial freedom. Which archetype Oh, I haven't finished. Let me finish with ruler, and then I'll
Okay.
tell which
Okay.
archetype will help you achieve that financial freedom. So in your case, ruler or celebrity. So now you know about celebrity. Now let's do
Yeah.
the ruler.
Okay.
The ruler is your inner empire builder. Yes, you are doing that now. I can feel it, with your second book as well. You're
Yeah.
building your empire. Your sacred money contract is to innovate, achieve, and empower, which you do so well. Empower wealth with grace and ease. And that's the challenge for rulers. We're not that great with grace and ease, but you've got the romantic that's probably helping you. So you've got a great combination. This is great. But for me, the grace and ease, that's quite tough, especially with the accumulator behind me going like, you can't do things perfectly. So yeah, your gifts, creating an empire where everyone thrives, innovating, and new and exciting growth opportunities, and being decisive and creating value for people. And you're courageous and visionary and determined. So when you compare the celebrity and the ruler, which one is going to help you to achieve financial freedom the most?
I feel like ruler will overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the celebrity will make you spend more.
Yeah, exactly. And also it feels like, to me, it feels like celebrity is more of a, for me personally, is more of a short-lived position. Whereas ruler to me feels more like a legacy position.
Yes, totally. Yes, it's the empire building, and it's not it can't be built in a day, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So these are the eight archetypes. Yeah.
Amazing. So I'm sure many of our listeners and watchers have probably identified with some of these as we've spoken about them and thought, oh, hang on, I do that. Oh, and I do that, and I do that as well. How can people, well, actually, first of all, we'll speak about a bit later about how people can figure out what they are. But let's speak about now. Can you purposefully change what your archetypes are, what your ruling archetypes are, or is it you'll always have natural defaults, or is there a bit of both?
So it's a bit contentious, but overall, all the coaches who do this work, we agree that really we don't change that much. Yeah. Always once an accumulator, always an accumulator. Like I will never be a celebrity. It's my last archetype. So especially if you compare your top one and your last one. So what do you have your last one?
I don't know what that is. No, I've only got my top ones there. I don't know what my last one is. So I'll have to figure that out.
Mine is the celebrity is my last one, and this is the polar opposite. So I will never be spending lavishly on things, and I will never care about my appearance that much. I will never care about buying a flash car, for example. It's just not me. So I maybe also there is the possibility that some archetypes will never change. I don't know. But maybe some others, maybe the nurturer will be maybe will change over time, because as mothers, I know you're a mother, we tend to be very nurturing people. Even if we're not that nurturing in terms of money, we are nurturing people because we have to, right?
We have to keep the little people alive, basically.
So I find a lot of people who are nurturers, actually, they're probably the best ones, the ones that change the most, because they can see how unhelpful it is to give their money and their time and their energy so much away to people, and then they can rein it back in. Having said that, it is possible to change because we all change. So I don't have the truth around that. What I can tell you is that you can bring forward some archetypes that could be helpful in your situation. So for example, be a bit more accumulator if you're very nurturer. Save more money for yourself, and then have strong boundaries. And to answer your question directly, make the most of your gifts. So know your gifts really well, and tone down your challenges. So know yourself. It's all about knowing yourself. And this year I'm going to do a lot more work around identity. And I really feel that all we need to know is who we are and what we want. And that's it. the rest takes care of itself. We have ideas that come to us about how to do things. You want to write a book, write a book. You want to do a masterclass, do a masterclass if you have an online business. You want to do an event locally because that's what you do, then do that. You will know instinctively what you need to do if the better you know yourself and your business. And there's another set of archetypes called branding with archetypes. So if I combine all of that with human design as well, which I'm like learning at the moment, it's like identity.
Yeah.
So know yourself, know your challenges, know your gifts, and use your gifts and tone down your challenges. And yes, you can be the best ruler, the best celebrity, the best nurturer that you can be.
I love that. I think that's a great message for anyone, not just a business owner, but for anyone that's listening and watching, is knowing yourself. That has to be the key in life. That has to be one of the paths to overall happiness. Yes. In actual fact.
Yeah.
So
and we don't do enough of that at school, in schools.
No, because that's not helpful in a school situation, is it? It's much more helpful to have a class of children who sit and behave and write when they're supposed to write and do sums when they're supposed to do sums.
It can't be mavericks. Oh my God.
Yeah, that doesn't go well in a classroom.
No.
But I think that I think there's a great message in there actually, and even if they don't teach that at school, we can certainly start teaching it to our kids at home as well, because I think it's an incredibly important one. That's awesome. So Isabelle, why don't you tell our listeners and watchers how they can figure out, how they can find out what archetypes are ruling them, which archetypes are they kind of leaning more towards, and all those things.
So you can take the quiz, which I have on my website. So it's www.joyousjourneys.uk. So not .co.uk, .uk. Just being accumulator here, like very like saving,
Yes.
.uk/quiz.
Great. Amazing. Well, what we'll do is we'll put that in the show notes for everyone as well. So we'll put those in the notes and the description and everything, so that you guys can click on the link for that.
It takes about 10-15 minutes, and you really have to answer the questions from an overall view from your whole life, not right now, not in the pandemic, for example, not like from a general point of view.
Okay, great. And not just your business, but actually your personal life as well.
Yeah, it's who you are.
Amazing. Isabelle, where else can people find out about you? Where do you hang out online? Where can they connect with you?
Well, as an alchemist, I have this weird love-hate relationship with social media. You can still find me on there at Joyous Journeys UK on both Facebook and Instagram, but I'm not that present, so it's just on and off. My website is the best place, so www.joyousjourneys.uk.
Wonderful. Again, we'll put those links in the show notes for people as well. Isabelle, thank you so much for joining me today. I think this has been a great discussion for people. I think that our listeners and watchers should go away and find out what their money archetypes are as well. And we'll speak soon.
Oh, we will. Thank you very much. And
amazing.
Find out, people. Let us know.
Thanks for watching, everyone. And we'll be back again tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye.